We have been doing our part over the course of the last number of weeks to punch above our weight. We've been able to secure over 41.5 million N95 masks and distribute them throughout the state of California. While we've had a little support from the national stockpile, we haven't relied on that. A little over 1 million N95 masks have come from the strategic national stockpile. 41.5 million have been distributed throughout the state. And it's a way of emphasizing that all of us are working, in some cases collaboratively, in other cases across our respective jurisdictions and sometimes against each other in the open market to compete, to procure through a supply chain that is global, more PPE. In some cases, we've been actually competing against the federal government. And we're very pleased that we're able to formally submit to the legislature yesterday a request to utilize money from our disaster response emergency operations account that would allow us to invest over $1.4 billion into PPE of all stripes and do so in a way that's secure the anxiety that many of us have.
This effort, the governor's mentioned the challenges that we've faced with getting the PPE and the competition that had existed. What we try to do is really step back and look at this in a much more strategic way. We've really engaged with organizations like Direct Relief, AmeriCares, the Philanthropy California, and the California Endowment, and Frontline. These are NGOs that have reached back. They have relationships in Asia. They've been doing work in different spaces, may not necessarily be exclusively PPE, but for example, in the climate adaptation and resiliency space, or in the public health and space. We've leveraged all of those partnerships and relationships to build into using their pipelines to leverage those to help us. So that has been a source of ongoing PPE, particularly masks, but it's also shields and gowns and other kinds of commodities. We've established a number of contracts with large vendors that have been able to provide the PPE that the governor mentioned already, 41 million masks that we've already distributed. We've also been able to get from our national health providers like McKesson and Cardinal. And yesterday, we were able to establish an agreement with a company, California-based company called BYD America, which really has a direct reach back into China to be able to build a pipeline, a sustainable amount of monthly masks that will be coming in to assist us here in California. This is an organization that has a manufacturing capability that is specifically designed to meet this need. FEMA has worked hard to establish partnerships with the 6 of the nation's largest medical distributors and procure huge quantities of PPE. And these flights are coming into the United States now regularly. Some of them are coming into California. The last piece that we've been working with FEMA on is leveraging a new piece of technology. This is a technology that was manufactured by Patel, a defense contracting company in the United States. It's a technology that is designed to get on the ground and actually bring in used N95 masks and do a sterilization and cleaning process that makes them basically new again. And this is new technology that has been certified by the FDA and CDC, and it will be here in California here within the next week. This capability will have the ability to clean up to 80,000 masks per day. So what this does is that we will work a coordinated effort with our hospitals and first responders and being able to utilize the PPE that has been used that meets the criteria. We'll bring it to this center. The center will then sterilize these masks, and we'll be able to repurpose them again back in the field again.
It's a time for many to celebrate and reflect on a day like this, Passover. And so I just want to extend that appreciation to those of faith that are also struggling because it is not a time to congregate. It is a time to pray. It's a time to reflect. It's time to practice our faith, but not in these congregate settings where we, at this moment in time, need to continue to practice physical distancing. And I will end, as I always end, by reminding everybody, while the curve is been bending in the state of California, it's also stretching. And at any moment, if we pull back, you can see that curve go back up, that slope go back up. And I know everybody's tempted with Easter Sunday. The weather's starting to improve. We're already trying to get more messages out there to everybody that's likely to say, well, maybe, honey, this is the weekend we can take a nice stroll and walk in a park or go up on a trailhead. I just want to remind folks, if you do that, you must practice safe physical distancing. And so I just encourage everybody, as you're thinking about your plans this weekend, let's not step back. Let's continue to move forward.